Le Canadien, ça fait partie de nous. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks to be with us tonight on the Red Light Show. Special edition, because usually it's a Sunday night, but right now Montreal play a lot of games the Sunday night, and now we bring that on the Monday night. Hopefully an amazing, great start of the week. Christmas coming. It's coming, Christmas. I don't know if you know that, but December 25th, hopefully you remember. But with Christmas, that's gave us the party annual of the Hockey Nation next Monday, 7 days from tonight. No red lights, no home day show, no Hockey Nation. It's about Christmas party. Bring you jersey, bring you drink, bring you food. You sit on the couch and we talk all together. It's going to be about everything. You come live with us. Last year we have 11 people talking together. And join us live next week, 8:30 p.m. And we'll have a great time together. This is your party. This is your night to have a great time with all the fans of the Hockey Nation. So thanks again, everybody, to be with us tonight on the special Monday night. And tonight we talk about Montreal Canadiens, le Bleu Rose, le Tricolore, les habitants de Montréal. And tomorrow night we are back for the Montreal play again the Flyers at 7 o'clock p.m. Join us live, and then Wednesday the home day show with Marco Larrabee. Tonight, great weekend with Santa Claus for the Montreal Canadiens. 3 points on the possibility of 4 happening for the Montreal Canadiens. So we're going to talk about the weekend of Montreal Canadiens. We're going to talk about what happening for the Montreal, the news and update in Montreal. And then we're going to review a little bit Monday night, the NHL news around the league. So this is the place to be on the Monday night until 10:30. We have the Clash tonight, and we have also all of you with us at the special edition. But the Monday night with the Red Lights is back in the house. Came back from a great day at school or somewhere, maybe the mall, who knows. But is with us again. I'm talking about the legend, the gold, and of course, from Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Always great to be together, Coach.
It was a pleasure to see you again on this great Monday night of a 5-game in NHL tonight, Mr. Enortap. Hopefully an amazing, great weekend. And of course, you follow the Montreal, so you know it's a good weekend the Monday after the weekend, the Monday night, when you know the Montreal have a great weekend with 2 great performances. We wish we could have 4 points, but 3 hockey game and 4 nights, that's not easy. And the way they played last night, it was like fantastic to see the Montreal Canadiens. That's the reason we'll talk about that performance on the special edition of the Hockey Nation, the Red Lights Show with the co-host, Mr. Enortap. Before we start, we always ask you what's going on, what happening to you and the Toronto area.
Oh, it's cold like crazy here. I'm actually
well, we can hear that, Mr. Enortap. You have an indication tell us it's cold over there.
Yeah, I have to apologize ahead of time because I'm getting a really bad cold right now. So I might be sneezing, but I'll mute it whenever I can. And we'll try to carry on because the show has to go on, Coach.
You're absolutely right about that. And don't forget to take a lot of the water, if you don't mind, beside you, so you can have a good way to fix your problem.
Tim Hortons
there you go. Tim Horton with the Santa Claus Holidays Cup. That's pretty cool.
Very, very nice. Very decorative. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty neat. Tim Horton.
You're getting some ideas?
We don't have Tim Horton here in Thailand or my area. We have I see a Tim Horton in Bangkok when I visited Bangkok a couple of years ago. They have one at the BLMK or the PKM Bangkok. I don't know the 3 letters of the shopping mall, but at the entrance, we have a Tim Horton right there, Mr. Enortap at Bangkok. Here we go.
Really?
We're going to welcome everybody. Before we start, we have N26. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. Billy is in the house directly from where? LDP. Can Mr. LDP celebrate today or not about what happened with the Buffalo Sabre? We're going to talk about this the next couple of minutes.
Of course.
And large 3 and 2 dark roast for Mr. LDP. Look like he's a customer of the Tim Horton. Pete Martin is in the house. Welcome back, Pete. Rovizio, de retour avec nous ce soir. Kelvinator is with us. Thanks so much, Pete Martin. And then we have Roger Bouchard. Welcome back, Roger. De retour avec nous ce soir. Roger, stand the man. I bring the cheese to the party. Perfect about that. Let us know.
Just don't bring the molded cheese.
I should bring a couple, but obviously they are not they are not available that night for me. Not anymore, anyway. Nicolas de Gobi-Bono in the house tonight. Welcome back, Nicolas. Thanks for with us. Hopefully doing well. Have a good day. Pierre W. knocked the door with who tonight? Pionk, 8.4, and Lendell, 11. Lendell, Isa Lendell. I said Lundell, but it's Lundell score, not Lendell. RJ Calabro is in the house already with all the update, Mr. Tap. RJ Calabro, the man of the news.
The one and only.
Is the man everything. Then we have Ozu Murphy knocked the door. Claude Richard. Claude was at the party last season with Roger Bouchard. Both of them participate. Pete Martin, he was in the show last season too. And we invite new people, guys. Knock the door. Luciano is in the house. I don't know. Luciano was there.
Yeah, no, I don't think he appeared.
No, online, he's scared. He's scared. That's happening there. He's worried about people hate him with the leave. So, I think also the camera here does not accept a leave jersey. That's the problem right there. He's blocked. He blocked at the door right there, so he cannot go anything. So that's happening there. We have a first goal of the game. It's on top. Kelvinator, the Kelvin of the Montreal. Let's score the goal. It's on top. A super sticker. Here we go. We did it again. Here the goal, Mr. Enortap of Mr. Kelvinator. He did it again. Go to get an assist to RJ Calabro. Stand the man, the 4 line for the team, Mr. Enortap. And we know RJ is a big man, 236 pounds. He said, I'm going to be on the 4 line. So if something happens, guys, we'll be ready. Panthers 3, Lightning 0, Ducks 1, Rangers 1, and Senators 0, and the Jet 0.
Go Jets, go.
Yeah. That's a lot of good game before Montreal Canadiens. We involved at least three teams in the Metropolitan Division, and Ottawa tried to come back. I think Ottawa lost the last game, so we'll see. Kelvinator. Melvin is in the house tonight. Welcome back, Melvin. Thanks for being with us. Sorry to welcome everybody before we start the show. And don't forget, Montreal was owned by the American owners before Jeff Monson. It remained a Canadian team. Tim Horton will always be Canadian, no matter who owns it. Here we go. About Tim Horton. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, please click on like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and you become a member at any time. And like we do, Mr. Enortap, at the beginning of the show, we do what? We do
our headlines.
Here we go. I'm going to start with you because that's what we do. That's the rule. Number 1 is you, and you said what?
I say consistency is the key, and if anything, if we can take any lesson away from yesterday's game, I think that this would be it. This is what we got from the fact that I think Montreal really played as close as possible to a perfect game on their way to that, well-earned, I would say, 4-1 victory over Edmonton yesterday. And really, when you break it down to its key components, we saw that in goal, Dobesh really stood his own. I think he did a great job of ensuring that a lot of rebounds weren't being let out. He was solid on the puck. I think he moved well within his crease. I thought the defense, and when I say defense, I don't just mean the defenders, but also the forwards coming back and helping out. I think the defensive structure, if you want to call it that, was a lot better and really didn't make a lot of mistakes. There were a couple of areas where I saw mistakes, but overall, I thought that they were solid. They brought their the forwards really brought their A game. We saw some odd man advantages, a couple breakaways. If it weren't for the solid goaltending that Edmonton received by Picard, I think that game would have been over a lot earlier. And when we sit back now and we say, okay, well, let's break this down. What did Montreal really do that was right or different than, let's say, the New York Ranger game? Because essentially they had a 3-0 lead in both games. The difference, okay, well, this one wasn't in the first period. It took a while before they built up to the 3-0 lead, and it was easier to maintain that. But you got to give a lot of, I think, credit to the defense, the forwards, Dobesh with his, especially some of those first period saves that he made. He really kept them in there and gave the team confidence to continue with their game plan. I thought it was a well played game by everybody. I want to give special thanks to, or kudos to Dobson and I think Carrier, who last couple games has been much better. I know we've been throwing them under the bus a lot of times this year, but I think that both of them did a great job on McDavid. Usually we see somebody like Gooley taking on that responsibility, but in his absence, I think Dobson and Carrier really never really allowed McDavid to skate around or generate anything offensively. They did a great job of, I thought, of man to man with him, and they never released him along the boards or allow him to generate any sort of type of cycling speed in the offensive zone. And as a result, you could see the frustration in McDavid's body language. A couple times he was slamming his stick. The thing is, and it's not just McDavid; it's anybody else as well. If you if these kind of players that have speed and rely on speed, if they can't utilize their legs and speed, then you really mitigate their offensive, not just possession, but also their prowess and their effectiveness. And I thought that the Montreal did a great job of limiting him and also Draisaitl as well. But the key player was for me was McDavid. As I mentioned earlier, there was rebounds were clearly cleared out of the way, both below the goal line, and I thought using the boards effectively to get rid of any loose pucks that maybe Dobesh did not get to. So, what's the essential difference here? And for me, it was consistency. And I know Marty St. Louis, a lot of times I think he uses the word urgency in the game. I think it can be substituted with the word consistency. I thought in order to be a good team, you have to be consistent on a continual basis. But unfortunately, when you're a young team, it's harder to do that because you're put into situations, especially by more veteran teams that have been around. You're put in situations where you have to overcome obstacles that come your way, and they've never had to really deal with it. So when you stop to think of how young our team is, and throw on top of that the fact that we have a number of injuries that really disrupted an entire line for Montreal, and especially on defense as well with Gooley gone. I think it was a great challenge for Montreal last night, and I think they rose to the occasion. How do you get the consistency? It's not just game to game, but I think it's period to period. And you see that energy, that interest, that effort, it tends to die out when you don't keep up that consistency. And that's a sign of a young team in a growing process, a developing process in my eyes. And I just think as they mature together, and that word's been used quite a bit by Marty as well, as they mature together and experience these things together, and hopefully they get a couple more veteran voices in the locker room. I think they'll be able to deal with these things so that you don't see these lopsided games anymore. Like we've had about 4 or 5 coach games where we kind of had the doors blown out. from us. And we tend to make always the mistake of pinpointing one thing and one thing only, and it's not. It's a combination of little factors, and sometimes certain players take the hit for it because it's most visible to everybody that a mistake was made in that particular direction. But little do we see sometimes that it's the play prior to that that might lead to that situation. So for me, the key for Montreal's success moving forward is consistency.
Well said, well done about the Montreal. We have a few people at the door. Mr. 007 is in the house. Well, also, Mon Capitaine is in the house. Larry Lavalley from Arizona is in the house. Welcome, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the likes. A lot of great comments about your consistency from the chat, everything. I will say to you about Montreal, it's a young team. And I think come with that, with the consistency will come with the maturity of the team. So when you're going to get there, Mr. Enortap, but that maturity you're going to get, example, is a great example. I believe Sakoski, 4 years in the NHL now, he's going to be, 22 years old very soon. But
Yeah.
that said, he's still immature when he play, and sometimes that's what you need. That team need more maturity. How going to keep the lead? How they going to play that kind of game they did? If you follow the last couple of weeks, right? Amazing, great game, Vegas, right? They won 4-1 or something. They come back home. They got nothing. They was bad. And then Colorado, they got beat 7-2. And then they come back on Montreal, and then they beat another good game. And then, boom, again, 2 more bad game. And then they beat Pittsburgh. And then and New York, they let them slip that lead. So this has come with the immaturity and the maturity of the team. So with the young team like that. But again, consistency is something difficult to keep in NHL night after night, and more difficult with the injuries. But a great segment about this one happening. About this, we're going to talk about a bit more about the game. Of course, the next couple of minutes. Don't forget, guys, having any question, you can ask to us at any time, and then any subject want to bring on the table, let us know. Best came from me for the veterans, and I'm talking about the veterans. Where they need to step up. And one of them was Jake Evans. Yesterday stepped up an amazing great, but he's not the only one. Talk about Alexandre Carrier. I'm talking about the player have at least many years in NHL. And you need them. It's not only to have the be carried on by the Lennartson only, or Demidov, or Sakoski, but or you need the support of the veteran behind that. I'm talking about Gallagher, Anderson, Evans, and then at the point by the Dobson, the Madison, the Carrier, and we got that, and that's what changed everything. The last couple of games, they have more goals on the board because it's the support of the bottom six, the veterans coming back right there, and that's what you need at those big moments. And last night, Jake Evans show up, everything like that, and when the veterans step up like that, the young follow the veterans and they learn more. And that's happening for the Montreal yesterday for me. A lot of veterans. We don't see this year. They struggle a lot. They step up yesterday. 2 of them is honestly Jake Evans and Alexandre Carrier for the Montreal Canadiens yesterday. And what a young team we are, you need them. You need them to step up more often, play better, and have a better performance. And that's the reason I believe Montreal have a better game yesterday, more structured, more organized on the both sides of the game, and then the young just follow the oldest one, and that's the reason I believe they have a great performance. And the young guys, Demidov, Tabash yesterday, Sakoski, Hudson, and that's good to see that. About that, we're going to talk about the game a little bit later, but still, I think when you have veteran like that, you need some kind of performance at some point. And since the beginning of the season, those two,
Absolutely.
they're struggling, Jake Evans and Alex Harris. If you want to add something, let us know. Let me know.
No, that's a very good point. I think the veteran leadership has to be there. In losing a couple of the players that we did last year, and I'm not necessarily advocating that they should have came back or should not have, but I'm just saying their presence there, and even the year before or 2 years before that when they had guys like Perry in the lineup. I think those were guys. They had Weber, they had Price. Like these guys really led the charge and knew how to deal with adversity as it came up, and the young players, as you said, they fed off of it, right? And that's how you learn. That's you have to have a mentor and go together. Like it's nice to have a team that has as many young players because they're growing together in the environment that they are. But it also comes with its perils, right? And as you said, if you don't have the ability to know how to deal with situations and obstacles and as they come up, it's going to lead to the kind of games that we're seeing. One night they're good, one night they give up. The Ranger game, they probably thought that that's the lack of maturity in the Ranger game, right? They had that 3-0 lead and even a 4-2 lead, and they let the foot off the brake or off the gas. They just didn't pursue it, and that's what happens.
You're absolutely about that. I agree with you. New people pop up tonight, not new people, but people show up right there. Welcome everybody. Thanks. Robert est avec nous ce soir, notre ami Robert. Thanks again. A lot of great comments about Tobesh, left and right. A lot of great comments. Tobesh look like Ben Bishop. He's a great goaltender. A little bit more compared to Fowler. We appreciate a lot. And then Lishano came against Washington last year in the playoff on that one. Dan the man, do you think Montreal they play a game before the Christmas break? Stand the man. Question could be a question for the Clash, Mr. Standerman right there. But do you think? I know there will be a subject. We won't talk about Montreal later, but do you expect Montreal be in the net this week?
That's a good question. Like I think they'll still keep Fowler up for at least a couple more games. I don't see him being sent down right away. I know even Larry's mentioned that he's not a big fan of the three goalie system. We've been through this before, and it's not ideal because one thing about goaltenders is uh, their rhythm. They need to get into that routine and stick to it from a perspective of being involved, right? Having said that, I think they realize that Monte really is not in the right mindset right now, in the right headset, and he needs some time just to collect his thoughts. And sometimes that does wonders, just to observe the game from a different look at the game from a different perspective. Allow yourself to sort of absorb the game in front of you without the pressure being on you, and that slowly brings you back into the fold. Like one thing is for sure, coach, we're going to need Monty down the road unless they make some kind of trade, which I don't anticipate. They're going to need Monty to supplement Dobesh the rest of the year. If we don't have him contributing, it's not going to be very successful. He has to contribute.
Yeah, a great question. A lot of comments left and right around the social media today, and people just ask us that question about Tobash and everything like that. Just curiously, before you give me an answer for the people in the chat, do you believe, before I go with Montego, do you believe Montreal Canadiens can make the playoff with Dobesh and Fowler for the rest of the season? Sounds that.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying before. I think if the consistency is there for them to play within their system, within their game, I think that they have the talent to get there. When you look at especially the East, the standings, I mean, there isn't much that separates them. Like here we go, we went on getting 5 out of 6 points. All of a sudden, we're 1 point, or I believe, out of first place in the Atlantic. So can they make the playoffs? Absolutely. Is it a is it considered a failure if they don't? I would say no, it's not. As long as we're seeing the development of a number of the key players within our team that are our future, then I think that that's positive as well. We have to take that away and say, okay, now we have to improve on this. But can they make the playoffs? I think they can.
Yeah, 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 absolutely about that. I don't think for me, Fowler and Tobesh can carry on the team all the way to the end of the season. I don't see that. That
I
said,
don't think Fowler will be there the whole year. I don't think so.
my second question is this part. People can answer too. Uh, who is going to be the next 3 years or 4 years, 5 years, maybe, but a little bit middle term? Do you think Montembeau or for Otobesh, it would be the next backup goalie for the Montreal Canadiens? Do you think they have to figure out that the next couple of months to figure out, okay, Montembeau Otobesh is going to be the backup at some point for the Montreal Canadiens? If they don't know if Montembeau can do it, they will have to figure out this with Tobesh. So for me, I think because of that situation and who they are right now, I think they would try to keep again Montembeau around to evaluate him. And is it just because when you talk about consistency, Tobesh is not consistency. He's a roller coaster, right? Like the
Yes,
number are
yes.
there. Very good game, very bad game. Very good game, very bad game. If you look about the stat that people bring on the table, when you have 4 days off, his stat are below the chart. When he's short, back-to-back game or 1 day off or 2 days off, his number drop a lot. That said, Montembeau is at the chance to give him a time to reestablish himself and to figure out what he will have to do with him. Tobej saved his life last night. I know you're going to say, come on, coach. I'm telling you right now, he saved his life to stay with the Montreal yesterday. He has to perform. He did it. Congratulations for him for sure. But I'd be surprised me he returned Tuesday with Fowler or Tobesh. And then Thursday, they will give the net to Montembeau in Chicago. And then Saturday, Sunday, don't be surprised they split Tobesh and Fowler during the weekend. If Montembeau, and I think that will be possible the last game of Fowler after that. I think they're going to send him down in Laval after Christmas or before Christmas, everything like that. That's what I see that. I could be wrong, and then, could be changing completely back with Montembeau. But I think for me, because you have to think about something, Mr. Enortap, is at the end of the day, Montreal have to win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a business to win. It's not like a business to testing, everything like that. So Montembeau, if they want to establish him to come back in the game, it's better for him to play Chicago without Bedard Thursday. I'd play Flyers Tuesday again. That team is more stronger at Bedard at Chicago. So you have a game to give. I think it will be Montembeau Thursday. That said, I could be completely wrong, you and me, and they can shut down Montembeau until Christmas, and then they come back after Christmas, maybe that way. But I don't think Montreal is going to be finish the year with 3 goaltender, and they're going to be with Fowler and Tobesh together. I don't see that, and could be wrong.
No,
but for what I heard,
I don't either. I think they've learned from that lesson that keeping all 3 here. Like somebody like Dovesh, okay, coach, what's one or two things to you that really stood out about Fowler
sorry
in the
again,
games that you've seen? In the 2 games that you've seen Fowler, what are 2 or 3 things that really stood out about him to you?
him is his calm, the track of the puck, and when I said track the puck, come with a position face to the puck, right? And then I would say to you,
Yeah,
his rebound.
his rebound.
He stabilized his own. Now, it was not all pretty again Thursday. I did not like his third period. I didn't get a goal Thursday, and I think that period was one of his worst period since he played with Montreal. He did not give any goal. Okay, the goal he gave from the goal line, he hit the stick, go in. I understand that. But at the third period, he was searching. He was not calm. He was looking around. He got a couple of times beat. He didn't follow the puck on the other side. He was disorganized and finding net, everything like that. He didn't get goal. That's okay. but he didn't have New York Rangers. The third period doesn't have a big chance opportunity at that period. He did what he's supposed to do, but for me, you need to return him soon you can to give him a chance to see what he look like. So we have to wait, and maybe Fowler start Tuesday and sit down Tobias until Saturday and bring him during the weekend.
So here's the thing with Fowler. In that third period, and even in the earlier periods of that New York Ranger game, I think you saw a very aggressive forechecking New York Ranger team. And Montreal was playing an extremely disorganized defensive man-to-man style, and they were being beat to no end. The Rangers kept getting shots after shots. I thought, even though he looked disorganized, Fowler, he really wasn't. I think it's the players that took advantage of that. And you got to give credit to Sullivan because he's been around the game a long time and he knows it's a rookie goaltender in net. You want to beat Montreal, you have to go strong. You have to beat him and crowd him in the net. Give him nothing to set up because one thing I noticed about Fowler is, boy, does he ever track the puck really, really well. He's never really caught out of position. He doesn't slide out of the play at all. He maintains his stance within the crease. And I think, those intangibles that we see, plus the fact that we know he has the pedigree, we know what we have with him. All right. At this point, it serves him well to send him back down, not right away, but in probably right after Christmas, to send him down and get the experience at the AHL level so that, he's ready to go for next year in my eyes. The key is going to be the other two goalies. Can they establish themselves? They don't have to be excellent. They just have to be good. That's all we're asking. Like, not to give away rebounds, not to be caught out of position, not to slide out of the way when there's a lateral pass being made. And if they can do that, then they'll hold their own. To answer your earlier question, Coach, I don't think Monte will be around after that. I think that eventually he's not part of the future. Like, yes, both goalies have been inconsistent, but if I had to choose, I think Dobesh has been a little bit more consistent than Montebo this year.
I agree with you, but here's my point of view about that. If Montebo is reasonable, right? So he gave you, because remember last year, Mr. Enortap, Montebo had a great year.
Yeah.
Goals save above expectation was great, right? So my point of view is, who has a better value on the market, Tobesh or Montebo?
I think in today's NHL right now, with how goaltending is an issue with many teams, I think they both have some value. But yeah, I see your point. I think Dobesh would be worth more on the market than Montebo.
Exactly. So at some point possible after because at the end of the day, now I understand you need two goaltender almost square, but if Montebo can be like good goaltender, not like bad he is right now, but he reestablished himself. I'll be surprised Montreal would trade at some point Tobesh because they will have to keep Fowler number one if they want to add more additional players. I know it's happening next week, next month, or next right there, in the next 3 months. But at some point, they have to evaluate things. Understand, everybody? They like right now, Tobesh is looking good. By the end of the day, Montreal will have to move some players. And they're not just going to give away goalie. So they never want to trade Primo. They don't want to leave Primo on the table because they want to expect to get something in return. And we talk about the Primo was worse at Montebo. So for me, this is where I believe what happened there. Oh, Ulmark. Talk about Montebo. Ulmark. Oof. Anyhow. So that would be my point of view. I could be wrong here, but that's not I could be wrong. It's just the decision of the team. We never know what happened with goaltender. You never know what exactly. But are you going to leave Montebo, Mr. Enortap? until all after Christmas. His last game is December 2nd.
Yeah, I think he has to draw in one game. So I don't disagree with what you said. If you have to put him in the Chicago game
Yeah,
and tighten up your defense and make sure that you give him the support he needs. But I mean, he has to work. He has to work through his issues right now, and I don't think it's just on the ice, but it's also in his head. I think he's his worst enemy as well.
exactly. So we'll see the time. It's just out the subject, but we go there. Great question, Stan. I open up the conversation for all of us. And you had different opinion. That's okay. That's what, at the end of the day, we want to know what Martin Sioux is going to do. But I just try to establish on the table all the different options they have. And that I just feel, for me, Montabo is part of the team. They still believe. And I don't see they're going to let him go out just for nothing. I don't see that. I just don't see that. Let's go to on that site. Sandeman said another question, Mr. Tap. That's what we like to do, guys. This is the show. Ask question. We can flip around with the template. I don't really. It's not a big deal. Bronswet was put on the waiver, Mr. Tap. Do you think a team will take him?
I think so, Stan. I was even in my own head considering it for Montreal before they even brought up Fowler. The only concern I have with Laurent right now is the fact of how is he going to react to his coming back from the kind of injury he had. I believe it was a hip issue that he had, and so that's a pretty important part of your repertoire as a goalie. You have to have that lateral movement up and down. And if you have hip issues, it could present a problem. But having said that, I think he's a solid backup goaltender. We saw that when he was with Winnipeg. Hellebuck, whenever he got a little bit of rest, Brosson came in and just took over. We saw that also in Vegas when he was there. He was solid until he got hurt again. So will a team pick him up? I think with the fact that teams are looking for goalies and goalies right now are at a premium, I think some team might as a solid backup.
Yeah. Here's the little bit more information you want to know. First of all, he can score goals. So that's maybe something you have to pay attention about that. He scored a goal last week, by the way.
He did. Yeah.
But here's the point, guys. He was already with the Blackhawks, and they sent him to Rockford for a conditioning stand over there. He was not after 7 days. He have to come back 10 days. He have to come back with the team. So he was come back to the team today. And then they put him on the waiver. Here's the kick about Bronswet. He carried on a contract at $3.3 million. So this is where you have to be careful to get that players on your team if you want him, because you have to put $3.3 million on the budget. Now it can be claimed. I'm gonna be surprised. Chicago tried to trade him. I'll be shocked they terminate his contract because he become UFA at the end of the year. It's possibility they can do that, but I think they just want to see him in Rockford. Everything like that. He has a record of 2-1-0 after 3 games. Sure, a couple of great save. Everything he looked like good about this. A team may be looking for Mr. Tap.
Solid backup.
A backup, a little bit like Connor Ingram with the Edmonton Oilers, right? Ingram is on the with the Bakersfield Condors, and then he's just hanging there, and they don't call him. They don't call Oilers. They trade for Jerry, and they got also Picard. But so maybe a team looking for a third goaltender in case. Bronswet show it, prove it. As a backup, is a good, but he's still ready yet. I'm not sure. He did not see the ice guys since 2023 season 24. So he missed a full year last season, 24-25. He just came back 6 weeks ago. I think could take a chance, but the contract is really the red flag behind that, Mr. Tap. So that'll be something to to figure out about this. We have a few people
It
knock
could
the
be
door.
fake.
Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be good. Mark is in the house. When is the last time Bonsoir players play? I
About a
just
year and a half.
yeah, he played last weekend, but in NHL, it was season 2023-24, and he was with the um,
Vegas, no?
who?
Vegas?
But he left the Winnipeg Jet,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
I thought he went to Vegas, if I'm not
to
mistaken.
Vegas, and then after that was over after that. So we have to wait.
Yeah.
We'll see happening. But good question about this, everything. Robert thinking Monday need a chance assigned, but difficult to trade with his salary. Another one at 3.4. Fowler has not proved anything played to game. The second game gave up 5 goals. I agree with you. And 26, so they should set him down in Laval and keep Montembeault and Tobesh together, and that would be the right way. We got Montembeault on the waiver, but
It
him
wasn't,
back on the
but in
waiver.
all fairness,
Maybe he
coach,
could end
in all
up in Laval.
fairness,
What?
yeah. I just think the issue here was not for Fowler to have to prove anything. I think he has the pedigree to be a solid NHL goaltender. I think he showed that. He brought calm to the team. I thought I played the game well. I don't of those 5 goals. I don't know. I wouldn't blame one single goal on him.
Well, only one. The
I
one
think I
behind the
would blame
net
it
where
on the
he kicked
defensive.
he hit his stick and the go in between the 5 hole. That's the
Okay.
one, but that's the way the goaltender tried to block the puck. He was just at the wrong place. The stick should be a little bit more inside, not outside. But at the end of the day, it's just more like an unlucky goal on that one for sure. So we have to wait, Mr. Enortap, what's happening for this. We're going to talk about this a bit later. Anyway, NHL news, and it's coming from the Buffalo Fire today. Kevin Adams, about that. I would like to hear from RDP about this. I don't know if he's asleep now. He's going to sleep or not tonight.
He's here. I thought I
but
saw him.
Kekalainen is known in name the Sabres GM after a really many years with the Columbus Blue Jacket a couple years ago. And that said, Mr. Enortap, with a question on Nicolas, so that's the reason we talk about this. Nicolas in French, est-ce que c'est un bon move à Kekalainen? So he asks you if this is a good move for the Sabres to hire Kekalainen as the GM.
I mean, once you're at rock bottom, I think any move is solid. Look, I think Buffalo really liked Kekalainen from what they're seeing. I think that this was kind of in the cards. They were looking at an opportunity to get him in there. Buffalo has not really risen to the occasion so far this year. I know that last week or so they've won a couple nice games, and credit to them for that. But I think the writing was on the wall for Adams, and this opportunity was there for Kekalainen to come in and take over. And I think he'll be good for the team. I think his vision is to sort of establish an identity for the team, something that they haven't had, to avoid making the same mistakes over and over, and that's give up on a lot of young talent by either trading them or whatever the case might be. But I think this would be a good move for them. But there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely about that for sure. A2, welcome back on the wood, but you said the right thing. I don't think they're really just going to get. Oh, you talk about goaltender, but it was Mark long overdue for Kevin Adams. I think so too. When you look about this situation, years, Butterreal and then him, he got maybe some hype like 2 years ago, maybe, but after that, he go back. Transaction after trade where it does not work very well. Monto, Reynard, to a big name like that. The Jack Eichel now don't turn around to be good for them too. And the fact he does not keep his players at young age, Quinn, not Quinn, but Peterka is one of them, right? It's a franchise where you always question about what is the best for the team.
Their direction. Their direction and what their identity is. It's as simple as that. They haven't had that, and it has to start at the top, coach.
Yep. No, I agree with you about that. Nashville take the lead, guys, 3-1 against the Blues tonight. Forsberg scored another goal. I like that. But not that problem I have offer. So my players score power play goal, get more point, and offer get. It is what it is. Anyhow, Garrett C. knocked the door. Welcome back, Garrett. Thanks to be with us.
Welcome, Garrett.
Pressure. Robert asked this question. Coach, talk about the suspension in Laval. Do you know exactly what happening?
Yeah, that hit by Pizzetta blindsided. I think it was Belzil, if I'm not mistaken, that got hit. Um, and Florian Jacki came to the rescue, but then it really escalated to quite a bit because it was near the bench, Montreal bench, and they got involved as well. So a couple of players that got involved, actually an entire line got suspended, as well as Pizzetta for 3 games. Um, it surprised me because I didn't I didn't think that Pizzetta ever showed that type of side to him. It was really a dirty, unwarranted hit that he made, hit to the head as well. So I'm not surprised, and I'm glad that Laval responded the way they did. But they're going to be, 2 or 3 games now without some of their key players. They lost an entire line and a half, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely about that. You have Belzil, Roy, Blais suspended during that. And finally, we have a fight. No, almost a fight, like one Zell involved with that part with Mikola. Interesting. 4-2 now for the Tampa Bay. Came back with 2 goals. And on that game, the beginning of the third period, that said, yes, that's happening there. So they play with not many players right now. They call a couple of players for the Lions. But John, between the part, was very solid Saturday, and to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm just watching what's going on. Who is the guest tonight? Mon capitaine. Mon capitaine, c'est M. Enortap. Sound like a Browns right to make a trade with Saddle for Mason Marshman. Interesting about that. Cross check, and this is the head as field game that leaving the bench with that part also. Part of this one. So that's happening. Robert, good question, by the way. On this one, let's go move on to the next one, Mr. Enortap. There's some injury can start to hurt other players' team too. Sad to see St. Louis Blues lose Dylan Holloway. 6 weeks now. Blues, it's 1 after 1 since the beginning of the season with Robert Thomas at the beginning, and then you get other players. This is a team cannot keep their players, the best player on the ice since the beginning of the season, and that's the reason why they are. But 6 weeks for the Dylan Holloway. Chicago announced very bad news for Chicago. Bedard will be out until at least after Christmas and maybe only in January. We have to see about that. It's a really freaky injury, Mr. Enortap, happening for Bedard. Some people say he was already hurt, or some people he just collapsed after the hit, or some people said it was before the hit. We don't exactly, you have different interpretation about that part over there. And they're going to miss him. He's 48% of the offensive overall this season. So whatever, they bring Nick Lauter.
What a great year.
Yeah.
What a great year he was having. And, he was raising the question, do you take him to the Olympic team between him and Celebrini, or do you take both? Unfortunately, maybe that decision has been made. I hope he can come back in time, but it doesn't look like it's very promising right now. And from everything I read and heard as well, he was suffering from a previous injury, same place, the shoulder area. So this just sort of exasperated it, and we are where we are now with it.
All right, great point about that. I agree with you. Also, freak injury for A2. Jordan, welcome back in the house. Roger Bouchard asked you this question. Who is John? More details about the goalie. Do you have any comments about the goalie, Hunter Jones?
Hunter Jones. No, I don't have much detail about it.
Yeah, John is the middle on at 20s. Goaltending on the NCAA, but it's never been a great goaltender, like goaltender. American Hockey League got in some kind of the backup at some point last season and this season. Have a good performance, and but not much. Roger, I don't expect too much about this goalie. He doesn't have any contract with Montreal, by the way. So just give you an idea, Roger. Not much about him. Jordan, if I ask you for autograph, do you sign Coach Frenchy or Hockey Nation, Jordan?
Both.
Usually I go with my name, but if you want to get the order, I can do that for this one. Roger, will TC stay on the Habs this season after Dak return?
Well, I think the key has always been to evaluate Doc and see how he fits in with the team. Like, I mean, that was the main purpose of the trade they did a few years ago to get him. Whether they use him as center or as a winger, that's still to be determined. But I think Tessier was sort of, picked up to fill in the shoes there. But I think you got to go back to Doc, and Tessier becomes one of your spare parts, either him or Veleno, or both
You're
when
right
you get
about
all your
that.
injuries.
Point behind that, I would said, Mr. Anta, they still have to return Davidson.
Davidson has to go down. Yeah, yeah.
So I don't see any problem with that part of that. Then after that, when Line and York coming back, now that will open up more flexibility. The Villeneuve situation, because he's a center left side, kept safe is live. But it would be interesting what happening there for the Montreal the next couple of weeks, and when they will be returning right there. And a broken stick create a turnover, and the Florida take advantage of that and score the goal. 5-2. Carter Verhey is hot, Mr. Enortap. They score the goal right now for them. We'll see what got here. Sharks should be a template for any rebuild. Not sure what happening to TC. He can play. Valenkin has a .937 save percentage and 20 game overall this season. Hope he can get so we can see what he have. But Valenkin play right now in the MHL, VHL. He signed until 2027, if I can recall it. He signed a contract during summer, so we have to wait for him a little bit longer. I would like Dak to play with Suzuki and Caulfield when he come back. Stand the man. We'll see. San Jose announced Willie Smith will be on the ER. Retroactive last week, so another young defenseman with an injury. If they stay play like that, he's not going to go. That he's not going to out of the lineup. I agree with you about that for sure. Mr. Top, I have two questions for you. I'm going to bring you the first one here. What I learned is the lead in NHL does not exist anymore like it was in the past. It does not give you any guarantee at the end of the day. Pitt's not a playoff team, and Pittsburgh this weekend, terrible, Mr. Tap. This is not first time, by the way. They did it against Toronto. They did with, I believe it was Colorado. Lead Colorado. 2, 3, 4 goal, and does not make sense to me. How can you lose a game 5-1 with 12 minutes to go remaining, or 5-2, and then bang, 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 and then you lose 6-5? This is a team. As we talk about veterans, we talk about a team, but I don't get it. I don't really get it. If you look about their lineup right there, I don't know how they can make the playoff. To be honest with you, that will be very difficult. But again, that's guaranteed anymore. The lead by 2-3 goals. It's very difficult. Just give me an idea, guys. This game right now, Tampa Bay against Florida Panthers. That remind me the game again, Montreal and New York Rangers. Montreal was leading 4-2. The Panthers, they go get the 5th goal there. I can promise you that right now. With 12 minutes to go remaining, I don't see the Panthers going to lose their lead at the end of the game. They're going to close the game like they do every time because they are a veterans, mature team, and
Yes.
that's happening there. But this was not acceptable for the team this weekend. Pittsburgh lost 2 games like that back to back. So I want to hear your thought about this.
Yeah, both with Utah and I think the night before against San Jose. And, they're leads that you can't give up. Like, I know that today's NHL, I mean, it used to be that the 2-0 lead or the 2-goal lead was, the kiss of death sometimes. Well, in the NHL now, it's become the 3+ goal lead. That's a problem. And it just speaks to the type of skill that is out there in the NHL with the players that you can't afford to take your foot off the gas pedal. You have to stick to your game plan. If you think back to that game, Montreal and the Rangers, I mean, they had them, right? And, that's the sign of an immature team still that wasn't able to put them away when they had the opportunities. And I know the goaltender made a couple of good saves in the third to sort of still keep them in the game. But the end, it's yours. It's yours. Go get it. Don't give up. Don't let go and think I'm just going to sit back and try to play defensive here because the other team has nothing to lose. They come at you hard and they know that they have players. Just about every team has players now that can, find an inch and that puck is in.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Another game tonight, Rangers Ducks with 20 seconds to go remaining, only 1 goal. Kelvin scored a goal, Mr. Enortap. Second goal of the game for Kelvin. Oh, mon Kelvin. Oh, my God. Thank you. Calvin scored a goal, Mr. Enortap, on this one. Thanks so much, Mr. Calvinato, on that one. Good to get an assist on this one for Mr. Larry Lavalley. And Mark Elliott get an assist. And Mark scored a lot of goals, but don't have a lot of assists this year. We're going to get an assist, Mr. Enortap, Mark Elliott. Sentiment, do you know one goalie will be available to play with the Montreal Canadiens? The Ducks score an empty net, guys. Carter Gauthier, second goal of the game for Gauthier, and take the lead 3-1. So the game is over. The Ducks beat the Rangers. Good news for the Montreal Canadiens on that one. He asked about the goalie situation, but I'm going to give you update about injuries. I will answer your questions since there was a good time to do that, honestly. Ab injury update. Kirby Dach is skating right now. He skated last week on the road. It's not great or perfect, right? But still, we see this week they are at home, so you have more chance to skate in Brassard, everything. And we see some people think he's going to be back next week before Christmas. Some think he's going to be back after the holidays. That's something to follow up. Could be that. And the next, another goal after the 4-1 for the Ducks. Pavel Pindyukov score. Poland and Johnson, the 4-9, got an assist on that one. And the game will be over on this one. 5-2 Panthers with half of the third period. 2-1 the Jets at the beginning of the third period. Again, the Ottawa Senators. And the Nashville lead 3-1 at the middle of the game. 0-0 Kings and the Star at the middle of the game also. Kings cannot score a lot of goals on top. They are struggling a bit. All right, Dak is coming back maybe next week. That said, the next is Caden Coley. Coley is supposed to be at the end of January, at the beginning of February, if everything turns around to be good. That said, Patrick Laine is supposed to be at the end of the February, and finally a new hook at the March. So that's something you have to follow up. Everything we have. And I'm watching the game, so I was always looking if something happened between the Panthers. Now Bennett from behind. And then we have some pushing left and right. Bennett in the middle. I don't know if there's going to be a little bit more. I just see Gord with Petrie. Gord just Petrie. We don't hear a lot about Petrie this year, honestly. So we'll see what happening about injuries. So you get that answer, Stan. And then we have Panthers get Panthers got out of the building, guys, behind the bench of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it's crazy stuff going on with that organization. Habs should hire Kovacev to teach them how to score on the breakaway shootout. Is getting ridiculous. Randy, Panthers blew a 2-goal lead against the Flame coach. About that, yeah, it's happened sometime for sure. I'm an Habs fan, but always like Lemieux, Yager, Francis Crosby, Malkin, but some hate Pittsburgh and still cannot stop talking about them. Just too funny. Maybe. On the $10 tip, how much YouTube channel keep? It depends. 007 on the channel on this one. So that's a conclude, Mr. Enortap, on this update. Let's talking about the game happening yesterday. So gave us a little bit an overview of the game. Here we go. Quamper is hurt, Mr. Enortap, for what we heard. So the Kings take the lead 1-0, by the way, at the same time. Kuzmenko scored a goal, 5th of the year, power play goal for Kuzmenko. So a lot of comments, a lot of things going on. Mr. Enortap, for the game yesterday, I think you talk a little bit, but we can give you a little bit more what happening for the people in the chat. Yes, more of that. I think we thought 35%, 30 to 40%, I believe. Something like that. Tobias, excellent yesterday against the Edmonton. Evans Kapanen, excellent also. Bottom goal from the bottom goal came from Evan TC yesterday. Carrier, his best game, I believe, this season. Better structure defensive overall. Burn 2-man advantage at the beginning of the game. Demida Suzuki scored a goal also. And then 4 breakaway, and we did not score. And Hudson Sakaski delivered merchandise with 2 points. For both of them. Again, the Oilers, maybe other things happening, but that's give you a little bit an overview of the game. So now, give us a little bit more what you think about the performance Montreal Canadiens overall.
Well, I think I discussed a lot of it in the headliner that I had earlier. I thought this was probably as close a game as to perfection that they've played all year long. It was an entire team effort, and it started with the goaltending. The entire team dedicated to the defensive structure. I thought the man-to-man setup was a lot better this time. As mentioned before, I think Dobson and Carrier did a great job of limiting any movement for McDavid, and he wasn't able to generate any offense because of it. And, if you can, what's the game plan for anybody going up against Edmonton? You can't necessarily always stop them, but you can limit what they can do, and that's both Draisaitl and McDavid, and that's exactly what they did in this game. So overall, a great team effort, and let's see if they can string together a series of these kind of efforts, because if they can remain consistent, then we're going to see Montreal excel to the next level.
A great point about that. I agree with you on this one. Try to answer the question in the chat. Forsberg is the backup. Quimper is hurt. I don't know, he'll be out or whatever. Renton look like it's involved. So Renton have a great history, Mr. Enortap, this season about the injuries. I don't know.
What's gotten into it?
I didn't see the replay yet, what happening there, but we have to follow up. Portillo is the backup, and American colleague on that one. One Carrier skate hard. He played better. Yesterday, he skate a lot better. For Mark about 100%. Alexandre Carrier on that game. So we have to wait, guys, what's happening on this one. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think Montreal Canadiens, honestly, the 2-man advantage, Mr. Enortap, could kill them after a disaster game, end of the game in New York. And that 2-man advantage, you talk about Draisaitl and McDavid, where they can burn you with 2 goals and then Montreal could be the end of this game right away at the beginning of the game. But that switched to the be a momentum for the Montreal Canadiens, and then it feel like they were like, we can do it, and it changed completely, I believe, the mindset of the team, of the momentum of the game for the Montreal Canadiens at that moment. Then you have performance of the Jake Evan and Oliver Kapanen to cover up Connor McDavid last night. They was trying to use them a lot all the time, and that was it was benefit for them. And you can see the performance of both of them. Kapanen is really good job against McDavid yesterday. He's a young man. He's a rookie, Mr. Top. He did a very great job. Like you said, Mark, Carrier for me was the player for me and the defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. Best game, he switched Carrier yesterday with Hudson. And now helping Carrier maybe with Hudson because Hudson's struggling together, honestly. And we bring Hudson on the left side. And I think it was benefit for the Montreal Canadiens overall. And Carrier on the PK, 5-on-5. It was really good game for him, honestly, yesterday. Demidov finally showed the puck in the net, Mr. Tap. That helped. And he scored a goal. Everything like that for sure. But again, the Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Tap, goes well because of Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson, Mr. Tap, is the key of that team. You can MVP, Suzuki, Caulfield, whatever it is. But this team is carry on by the play of Lane Hudson. Game in, game out. This is who he is. That's who he does. And Montreal team take advantage of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as Hudson goes, Montreal goes, and that's been in evidence all year long.
I agree with you about that, and that's the way to see that. So Sekeski have 2 points also. Overall, Mr. Tabs, time to set up our stood out players for everybody in the chat. If you don't mind, that'd be good. Let's see what we got here. Stood out, obscure, at the office, a turning point.
Yeah, with my stood out, I mean, there's a number of people I could have gone with, a number of players, but I'm going to go with Jakob Dobesh. I thought that he really stood his ground yesterday. He faced, I think it was around 28, 29 shots, and he was up for the challenge. He was solid with containing rebounds. I thought he moved well within his crease and was able to sort of dictate, taking away angles and facing the immediate threat coming at him. Um, I thought he was poised, and sometimes that's what it takes is seeing another goalie that has those attributes, like a Fowler, come in for a couple games, demonstrate that, and you've had a couple nights off. You see that, and you know that you're fighting for your position. So, kudos to him for that. I gave it to him. Obscure. Originally, I was thinking of Slavkovsky, because I thought he had a great game, but I sort of didn't go with him because I don't think it's obscure. I think he's been doing it all year long. He's been doing it on the first line. He's been doing it on the second line. He's shown a whole different side of maturity this year, and he's starting to show us why he was a number one pick and that it was, the right pick. But the guy I went with in terms of obscure was Jake Evans. If you look at the score sheet, he led all the forwards in TOI. He was put in there in many different situations. I thought he answered the bell. I thought he was aggressive on the forecheck. He had opportunities to score. He was, I think, 50% on the faceoff dot as well. So he did everything that was asked for of him, and I would probably say it was one of his better games last night. At the office, I at first I thought nobody, but I guess if you want to throw somebody in, I thought again Jaden Struble. I wasn't 100% pleased with it. I thought it was a bit better yesterday than his previous two games, but he still. I'm starting to see that he doesn't have great foot speed. Yes, he's got good angle work and he's agile with his skate, but a lot of times I saw the forwards easily skating by him, and he wasn't able to respond to that. And I think that that's something that they have to approach. He has to take the angles a little bit differently as a defenseman and take the forwards out of the play. And he could use his physicality to help him do that, especially when it's along the board. So I put him there. And the turning point, I think you hit on it 100%, was killing off that 5-on-3 in the first period. It could have been a whole different complexion to the game if Edmonton scores even on one of those opportunities, let alone both. So I gave it. I gave the turning point to that particular incident where the penalty kill was able to fight off the 5-on-3.
Great comments about that. Everybody looked like the same way. Tabash, Evans, a turning point, a 5-on-3, and that's it. Mark said maybe Budzik. Some people said nobody there. So at the end of the day, you're all right. Mr. Roger Delaney is in the house. Welcome back, Roger. Thanks for all the like we got so far. We appreciate a lot. And now Kucherov and Baleski hit each other. So that's the premise of that. I agree with you. I don't have to bring more on the table, guys. It was said, the stood out, the obscure, and the office. Well said. Hey, to talk about Engstrom battling out Strobel all over the ice yesterday. I think Engstrom have the best games since he joined the Montreal Canadiens yesterday. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Engstrom continued to show that he's not out of place. He's doing a very solid job. I think in the 3 or 4 games that he's played so far, I've only seen one time that he made a mistake, and as a rookie, to make only one mistake in 3 or 4 games, to me, that's awesomeness.
You're absolutely about this. I appreciate you're absolutely right. Ron, welcome back, by the way. Time to start some trouble. Ron is in the house. Thanks again would be with us. My next to him is not that it was the goalie. What did he do? But we talk a lot about this. So going to push back a little bit, if you don't mind, that'd be good. I want to talk about fun thing. First of all, go talk about Slekaski. Talk about consistency at the beginning of the show. That I want to bring this to you. And join the maturity. 10 points the last 10 game for him. How do you feel about Slekaski? What make him who he is today? And join that question for everybody in the chat. I would ask you some rumor. Maybe Slekaski become a center. Do you see him as a center or not allowed? Or maybe also no, that'd be a good idea to put him as a center. So ask you this question for all of you. Let me know what you think.
No, I personally would not put him at center. I think that you're adding an extra fold of responsibility to what he has to do. I think he's been progressing very well. He's very hard now. Like the first couple years, he was easy to push off the puck, and now it's the exact opposite. And he's got that reach as well, which helps him immensely. He uses his body well to shield the puck.
Super chat.
We'll come back to it, I guess. Thank you, Ron. For me, I'm seeing the maturity that I haven't seen in the last few years. Like he's not a deer in headlights anymore. I think he's dictating the play. He's driving the play for Montreal. We saw that he was effective on the first line. He's been effective on the second line, and has created the secondary scoring that they need. And what was our biggest complaint about him in the past? Well, he doesn't seem to wake up until the second half. Well, if that holds true again this year, given the fact that he's had a pretty good first half so far, I think he's gonna have a one heck of a season. And again, I don't necessarily look at just the points, right? I mean, that's nice and it comes with time. But what I'm looking at is the small details of the game. How's he skating? Is he being pushed off the puck? Is he and his passing? That's another thing. His passing's become like very, very good this year. Like he's not turning over pucks anywhere near the frequency that he was before. And to me, he's showing why he's a number one pick overall.
No, you're right. Look, we believe on him. We thought he's going to be a great hockey player. We knew that, and it just take time. But he get that there, Mr. That Matt Shane scored a goal there, by the way. Another star hip, so there's another story for another time. But $1 a Kings. Yes, for me, application, in my opinion, like more involved, and he's move his feet. So how many times we said last year that he stay, he does not move his feet, and he's moving his feet. He's more involved, he's more engaged. I think involved is better the word engagement on that, and I think that's the reason Sakowski is right now. He is more responsible. Like they gave them responsibility to take care about Demida with Kapanen. That helping him is how proud he is, and he fit well with them. And I think he's less shy with them compared with Caulfield and Suzuki. That's normal, by the way. It's not negative. But it took him 3 years. Honestly, it's not 3 years, Mr. He played 41 games at the first year. And then after that, he played 2 seasons. So, look, this is great for him. They have a great year so far. And the benefit is the Montreal Canadiens. And the organization see him something where the people was questionable about him. And he carry on that team. Not carrying that team, but he played very well with that team this year. But we have a goal, an amazing, great slap shot of one-timer shot, Mr. Tap. Run with Kings.
Oh, my God!
Thank you. He scored a goal, Mr. Tap. Run with Kings. Great pass of Pete Martin on that one. And Claude Richard getting an assist on that one, Mr. Tap. This third line tonight. Ron, Martin, and Richard scored a goal on the Hockey Nation. The goal number 3 of the night, Mr. Tap. Thanks so much on this one. Very kind of you to continue to contribute at the Hockey Nation live show.
Quick question for you. Totally off topic here, but with the possible injury to Comfort tonight, would you trade Montebo for Dano?
No.
Why not?
2 things. First of all, you cannot go with 2 goaltender, Fowler and Tobash together. I don't see that. Secondly, Dano fix a small problem at short term, and at long term is going to create a problem. Why you said that? But because you still have Anderson and Gallagher next season at $6.5 to $1 million. You still have Jake Evans. You still have Kirby Dak. You have Alex Newhook. It does not fit very well what we have. It will increasing the quality of what we got. TC Venano, I understand that. But still, carrying at $5.5 million, I don't think it's a good idea for the Montreal Canadiens. And, Mr. Enortap, if you do that, Montreal to look in the mirror. We have Christian Devarek during summer. We have Joel Armia during summer. And I feel like they will look bad if they go that direction. That said, I could be wrong and say, you know what? We have to go with that because that's what they need to go there. But I don't think so. They want to trade Montembeault. I can understand if fans want maybe
I agree.
Him, but he has 0 goal, Mr. Tap. 8 goals last season. It's not the same Dano we knew in Montreal, but it will bring you what you don't have, right? PK players, left center percentage a little bit better. And do you really increasing to get that level after that? I don't think so. And now, if you trade a 4-1 pick for Dano, and that's it, or something like that, you have to consider that. But the contract would be hurt you next season, Mr. Whatever you said is increasing. I don't think so. You will have to, honestly, the best scenario, guys, I know you maybe not agree with me, is to trade Gallagher for Dano. That's it. And the only reason I said that is on top is because the money wise, salary cap.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
But
I don't think the galley's going anywhere.
yeah, for that one, right?
But I would agree. I would agree with your assessment there of that trade. I don't think it fits Montreal.
Yeah, I agree with you also. RJ, welcome back. I would love to see Enortap dancing on the table, but it could happen next time. We have to wait about that. He's still on the Club Paris in Montreal practice and the pool behind the stage, but could happen one day. You never know about that one. With that, for sure. We want to thank all of you guys. Don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe, become a member at the Hockey Nation Live Show. And Mr. Arta, we're going to move on the next one for that one. And we hit now the 9:55. We're going to start the clash early. And we're going to add more subject after that, if you don't mind. That'd be good. And I'm talking about the clash, ladies and gentlemen.
No
and
Arbor
again,
questions, please.
you know, when we talk that way, guys, we're not always right, Mr. Tap. Honestly, and that's what is difficult for me sometimes to understand or to say, oh, I said that, and geez, I should think twice, or it's because we don't know the inside, Mr. Tap. We don't have the inside of the room. We don't have the information they have, and as just two hockey fans like you guys in the chat, we're not an insider. We're not like the Arpen Bazou or Gilbert Delorme or those people knows more about the Montreal Canadiens from the inside, or Renaud Labois example. Now, we don't know those stuff. We're not around the team. So it's difficult sometimes to have an observation. We just go for what my feelings are and what I'm thinking. But I could be completely wrong for sure on this one. What happening there? And let's move on, Mr. Top. The Clash 5 question. It's about the Montreal Canadiens. Maybe one question is not Mr. Top. So some we already at that. We talk about this. So, you know, it is what it is. If you have any question in the chat, please don't forget to click on the likes. So, Mr. Top, Fowler, return to Laval before December 31st, 2025.
They have, I think, 9 games left? Is that correct, Coach?
He has, before it was 4 this week, 1 next week's 5, 7 game, yeah.
Yeah, so 7. I'm going to say no. I think he stays till the end of December, and then in the new year, he heads back.
Yeah, so you go with not at all.
Not at all. Not at all, yeah.
Welcome back, Austin Allen. Also, thanks everybody to be the part of the show. Dano maybe not be scoring, but is wearing a line out, which helped so far. Fowler absolutely stand the man Ovidio. And then Roger absolutely also. Randy, no one wants to see Enortap dancing on the table.
Oh, Randy.
You know, Randy, did you ask your wife? You never know.
Sure,
Not allowed, Ovidio. Fowler returned to Laval before December 31st. Yes. I think it's going to happen during the holidays, Mr. Tap. Now, I think that will be, yeah, I think they're going to send him down at some point, Mr. Tap. That's my feeling. Now, we can ask this question, Mr. Tap, after next week and next Sunday, and something happens during the week, right? If Montembeault, Fowler, or Tobash, and the outcome of the game this week, and then we can ask the same question. Now we're going to be maybe change the
different answer. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
so
I mean, if we start seeing both Monty and Dobesh responding well, then for sure, yeah,
exactly. So now let's move on to the next one. do a trade before the freeze trade, December 20. I think it's the December 20. I could be wrong, guys. Maybe 1 or 2 days, but I just put this on my head. I think is I read last week 20.
Yeah, I think it's the 20th. It might be either 19th or the 20th. The 21st is a Sunday, so I think it's the 19th is the last day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do they do a trade? I'm going to say not at all. It doesn't mean that they're not active in trying to still do something to improve the team, whether it's 2C, which I don't think so, or it's some other issue that addresses a gaping hole, a gaping hole right now, then that's possible. But I don't see it happening before Christmas.
Yeah. The only reason I put this is because the rumor of Dano, but
Usually they tend to stay away, at the holiday making trades like that. It's tough on the families.
Yeah. We have young player. They need to learn. User, welcome at the house. User, thanks to be with us. I go with you, Mr. Tap. Not allowed on that one. I don't see that what happening before the 20. So Tap, this is out of the subject. Montreal Canadiens. San Jose or Anaheim in the playoff.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Well, the way things are going right now. You have Anaheim is in first place. Is it a stretch for them to hang on to? Actually, they're not in first. I think they're just right behind Vegas right now because of that win. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say they're gonna make great strides towards it. I think that Anaheim in particular will hang around, but I don't think either one of them gets in. I still think that there's other teams that are starting to make noise now, and they'll hang around and probably take those wild card spots. So I'm going to say not at all.
Ottawa tied the game is on top with 154. 7 of the year for Jake Sanderson. And puck could not be stopped at the wall by the Jets corners. Wrist shot it and beat Alibak for Jake Sanderson. I go with absolutely, Mr. Antap. I think Anaheim is going to make the playoff. I said that, Mr. Antap, because every year we have 1 or 2 teams come, they make the playoff, 1 or 2. And I think if you look closely, and again, Mr. Antap, I always said this is weird sometimes, but I always said to you, Mr. Antap, the standing in the Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks are 39 points. They have right now 4 points in front of the. Now with the win tonight, they have 41 points. They have right now, like 6 points in front of the Sharks. The same number of the game. Mammoth are 35, 34. Now Blackhawks out. Jet 33 tonight with 32. So if you think about this, you have 7, 8 points. And that, the only thing can push Ducks is honestly the Edmonton Oilers.
Well,
and
there's a couple things, Coach. There's a couple things that could push them out. Like, I don't disagree. If anyone could make it, I think it's Anaheim. I'm just going on the fact that I think both teams are very young still.
But Anaheim is not young like we think they are.
No, they picked up some good.
They have a lot of veterans there, like Grenlon, Truba, Gudas, Grader.
Gudas.
You know what I mean? Like Killorn. This is not like a normal rebuilding. I can understand your point of view, like they never been there, right?
Okay.
But I think it's like Montreal Canadiens. I think they're going to make it like last season because of that situation. I think at least the only thing when we don't predict this, but on top of the injuries, right? But
yeah, that's aside.
Good goaltender. They have good defensemen, and they have a good top 9 right now. Terry is back now. Terry is played better hockey. For me, I just see that team going to make it.
So here's the question that I would address to you then. Um, who comes out like, or which team doesn't rise? Like I think right now you still have Utah that's in that mix. I think that they're, if I'm not mistaken, they're tied with San Jose. So I can see Utah maybe jumping
I
a
mean,
slightly ahead of San Jose.
Mammoth are only 515.
Right, right. But you still have now with the return of Hellebuck, you still have Vancouver, or sorry, Winnipeg to worry about. I think St. Louis. We talked about this last week. I don't. I know they haven't quite shown it yet, but I think as they
I'll
get
be honest with
healthy,
you. I predict St. Louis to
no,
make the playoff, but I want to share my
I know.
prediction, Mr. Antap. I share my prediction right now. I'm watching them a lot the last couple of games, and I said, and honestly, Mr. Antap, they have a better. Tonight they lose again. It's an inconsistency team, and it's blurry with injuries. I talked about this earlier, and one of I did not mention
Yes,
with other
yes,
win, Mr. Antap, is Kiru. Kiru is out.
yeah.
Neighbor was out
Kyrie's out.
prior to
Yeah.
that one. Thomas was out before that.
Neighbors,
Uh,
neighbors.
so I said to you guys, the only thing you're right, it could be the Winnipeg Jet and the Mammoth. But again, they would push out the Sharks, and nothing would happen in the Central Division. Nothing would guard them. So the Kings
No,
and on Ducks, and so
and
I
San
don't
Jose.
think Mr. Natap, the Winnipeg Jets and the Mammoth both together with the Central Division where they are, they're going to push better. Like one of the two teams, you're right, are going to make it, but I don't see both of them make it. That's give a chance for another Ducks to stay, and that the division, the Pacific is easier at the Central Division.
The Central. Yeah,
That's maybe again, what I mean, we just project, so we hear about that.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
About that, I just want to mention, guys, you have two trade frees right now in NHL before the trade deadline. The holidays time, and this year for Olympics, nothing will
Yeah.
happen. They're going to have a free time, and after the Olympic, everybody be closed. It's March 6th, the trade deadline, I believe, this season. So I just want to mention that. Mr. Antap, we're not done yet. We have two more. First, the next one. One team in the state of New York and Pennsylvania and the playoff for upcoming season. Now, I put the letters at the state, the team, because I said Luciano, he does not geography. He never passed at the school, Mr. Antap. He never make it at geography. He was good at biology. He liked the bodies, right? He liked to know more about the bodies. But on the geography, Mr. Antap, he did not know, honestly, anything about where they are. He thought at some point Nashville was in New York. So now we have to explain to him. So, from Luciano, the New York are New Jersey, Rangers, and the Islanders, and the Pennsylvania is Flyers and Pittsburgh. That's pretty good. If you think of this is a good question, Mr. Antap.
Yeah. So one team in the state of New York is in the playoffs. I mean, well, right now you have the Islanders that are in. I believe they're in second place now in the Metro, and they've been hit with a couple of injuries lately, but they continue to play well. I think Sorokin's taken him the distance, and he's been playing extremely well. He's returned to his old form. The defense is solid. If they can get some subsidiary scoring there, I think the Islanders can hang in there. That's one team. I don't have confidence in the Rangers, and I had a lot of confidence and hope for New Jersey, but every time Hughes gets hurt, like I don't get how this team that has so much talent can't hold the fort. And right now they're on the outside looking in. I know it's not a lot. I think they're only 1 or 2 points out of a wild card. But if you're asking me one team is in the playoffs, I'll say absolutely. But you'd be surprised at my answer. Which one?
Yeah. Look, if you look about closely, right, Mr. Antap?
Yeah.
I said already Pittsburgh is out,
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree
right?
with that.
And the Panthers win tonight. They are already close. They are coming up. The Devil, Rangers, Pittsburgh are out already, guys. So it's called already 3 of them out.
It's
They
only
have
one
only
team.
Pittsburgh, the Flyers inside of that. Can the Panthers pass the Flyers and the three team we talk about?
I think they
Now,
will.
the Islanders are already in the playoffs. So the Islanders could change everything here. They are at 621. So on one team in the state New York Community Playoff, I would say yes to you right now because it's too much for the Islanders to go down. This Mr. Tap is going to be close because I think do you really think the Devil's going to be down like that and that the Islanders going to make it?
It defies logic, right? I would agree with you. It defies logic. But to me, the eye test, every time Hughes is out for whatever reason, people aren't stepping up. And it's causing a problem. Like I don't like the way they've been playing lately. If you look at their goal differential, they're well below zero. I think they're at something like a -4 or -5. And in their last 10 games, they're 3-7-0. So I don't know. Can they right the ship? I mean, it's possible, but everything I'm seeing right now points to them not making it.
Ottawa beat Winnipeg. That's not good.
Maybe Winnipeg doesn't make it.
Now with that, they go now at 34 point. Mr. Tap Ottawa. They was 3-7-0. Okay. Good for them, Mr. Tap, but it is what it is. Need to look at the gameplay. N26 on slider get fully out. They look out, Luciano. They already look good right there. And then so far on Tuesday, good question about that. We're going to come back in the next couple of minutes for that one for the goalie. Mr. Tap, last question. Rebecca joined Canadian in January.
I think I know your answer.
But you did not talk about this on the show, I think, right?
No, we didn't talk about it in the show. We talked about it off screen, but personally, I don't think so. In January, if anything, we might see him towards the end of the year, unless, of course, there's some kind of injury or maybe even a trade that happens, right, where you involve a key player or two from Montreal, especially on defense, and then I could see him sort of coming up. But I'd be very happy to see Reinbacher continue the strong season that he's having in Laval. And maybe if you had to bring him up for a handful of games at the end of the year, you bring him up then. So I'm going to say not at all, but I think you're going to go with absolutely.
Yeah. I'll go with absolutely for me, for sure, yes. But not guarantee my house on that one, or my chicken on that one, Mr. Tap.
You're right.
For this one, for sure, on this one. A lot of people knock the door, guys. Thanks so much, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be good. We have about 15 minutes. We're going to pick it up, Mr. Tap. A couple of things. First of all, I want to mention one more thing about that. Yeah, some question talk about question. Luciano said Tobage is projected to be tomorrow. Paul Gag died at 63 years old. There we go. I watched video. Crosby, Fowler on Tuesday. Dan, we're going to give you that answer in the next couple of minutes. Mr. Dan, be patient. Not allowed at least a trade or injury. Not allowed Pete Martin for Mr. Rebecca. There we go. Montreal, Laval, prospect and suspension. Laval finished the weekend, guys, with a record of 1-1-0. Beat Toronto Friday night, and then the last Saturday with many suspension. Blair, Belzile, Rouen, and I missed another one. So that happening for them. Yeah, and that make them a couple of days, a couple of games difficult in front of them. But I want to mention one more thing, Mr. Tap. The Hab prospect Finally, we heard from Aiden Popakanis, Mr. Tap. 5 point Saturday or Sunday. 2 goals, 3 assists for Popakanis for that. But, guys, I don't know how you feel about that. We have a name. It's called Bryce Pickford. We talked about him last week. I make a video. Pickford, guys, 19 years old. Draft 81 overall pick for the Montreal Canadiens. He was not drafted the year before. Captain of his team. He scored 2 more goals during the weekend. He is right now 9 goals in the last 4 games. He has 18 points the last 11 games. Is right now, everybody talk about Pickford. He's not going to be with Team Canada. But, Mr. Tap, this is an extraordinary stories right now for him. He's on the wave, maybe on the pace, maybe to become the defenseman with the most goals in the WHL and possible in CHL and on the point also. So look, this is a great news for the Montreal prospect. A 6'1" defenseman, about 187 pounds. What do you think about Pickford and what are your expectation for him?
Yeah, he's definitely setting some high standards. Like I know we have to keep things in perspective, and it's WHL, but he's setting records, and I'm loving everything I see about Pickford so far. His skating could use to improve, but that's something that I think he'll work on. But I just love his drive and the way he heads to the net. He's aggressive. He likes to play that type of game, and you could tell he's a game breaker. I like it, and what it does is it creates even more of a log jam at defense, and that's an area of that you want to be strong in. Not only because it gives you assets to deal with to address other areas that are not as strong on the team roster moving forward, but also because you got to always worry about injuries and having these kind of players like Reinbacher coming into the mix, and of course now Engstrom's there, and if you throw Pickford into the equation, even though we're still looking at a couple years down the road, it just adds to your depth, and that's one area that we were sort of lacking in because of the rebuild, and it takes time for these players to properly develop into what you want them to be.
Now, good point about that. I agree with you. For what could happen for them, definitely, there's something to have to follow up the next couple of days for the team, honestly, for him. And this is just a good problem at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
To have Pickford. Mr. Tap, we're going to go now for the week for the Montreal game. I'm going to hear from everybody in the chat who are your predictions of the week. And we're going to start with Mr. Tap this week in NHL. Let me check if I have this. Right there, Mr. Tap. Tuesday, Flyers. Chicago, Thursday. Pittsburgh, a back-to-back game. What your expectation, Mr. Tap? Do you know who won last week?
I think you did, but that's
Yeah.
only because I selected, I believe, four or no, I selected 4 points.
You
out of
select
6.
4 points because of your pick.
And
I
you
go
said
with 5 points, so I want to thank you. So again, tonight I'm going to leave you pick the first Mr. Tap, so I can give me a better chance to set up left and right. That said, this is not my
Get me to
first time
commit.
this year, Mr. Tap. At least 4 times I won this year the prediction of Montreal Canadiens. And no, Luc Lafortune, whatever you try to cheat, it did not work, Mr. Luc Lafortune. Everything like that. A lot of comments in the chat. 0007 go with 311. 7 point for Mr. The problem is you have only 4 games next week, 007. So, Mr. Mother, 07, you have to cut 1 game if you don't mind. And who is on the net? So, Mr. Tab, you're going to mention who is on the net this week, and then give me your number of the point.
Let's see. I mean, when you look at their schedule, for December from the games we've already seen moving forward as well. We knew this was going to be a hot, contentious um, month for Montreal, and so far they're holding their own, despite the fact that there's still areas for them to improve in. I think of the entire weeks that are in the month of December, I think this is the most gettable in terms of points. I know Philadelphia will be tough. They've been playing some very good hockey, especially as of late. But I think Montreal can still hold their own against them. I think that they will get 6 points. I'm going to go with 6 points in total.
6 point, Mr. Enortap.
Yeah, and goaltender wise, I would say the Pittsburgh games will definitely be split. I would assume between Dobesh and probably Montebo. And then the Philadelphia Chicago, I think we see one of Fowler and the other one Dobesh. So Dobesh gets 2 starts.
Interesting, Mr. Enortap. We have 5 point. We have 6 point. We have 8 point right now, Mr. Enortap. On that one, they can win them all if they can play like last night. Mr. User, he said that.
Sure.
Austin.
But remember the word consistency.
How many? What is your selection of goaltender, Mr. Enortap, again?
Which goaltenders? I said
Yeah.
two for Dobesh, one for Monty, one for Fowler.
Yeah, I feel that one. Time for Suzuki to eat up 8 points. Mountain Boat does not play for 8-2 on that one. RJ go with 4 points on that. That's the lower point we got so far in the chat. I go with 7 points on that.
I know you were going there.
But originally it was 6. So I would
I
go
know.
with 7, Mr. Enortap.
I'm glad I can assist you, Coach.
Austin loves the Philly and went the rest. Austin. Yeah, 7 on that one. I think they're going to have a good week. I feel like they're going to the weekend are going to push
The
Montreal
momentum.
Canadiens to have a good week. The last 3 games, they are 2-0-1, Mr. Enortap. They could be strong for the holidays, Mr. Enortap, this week. Imagine they have 3-0-1 this week. That would give them 5-0-2 the last 7 games. That put them at the top of the Atlantic, top 3, and that's what we need. We need that performance. And I have the same thing like you. Tobesh Tuesday, Montebo Thursday, Fowler Saturday, and Tobesh Sunday. That's my expectation on that one. Tobesh play 2 games, at least maybe more if beat Flyers. Chicago Fowler play Pittsburgh, and then maybe Tobesh again. Montebo get no game for N26. I need ticket Calvinator for the game for Mr. Calvinator. That's it, Mr. Enortap. I think we did around. I know it's 23, but I think we did a pretty good show. We covered about that one. For that one, Sentiment, Tobesh, Montebo, Fowler, and Tobesh. That's my prediction, I believe, on that one. And we'll see, Mr. Enortap. Before we leave, Mr. Enortap, we invite everyone to join us next Monday. And we're going to be, Mr. Enortap, at the annual party of Christmas. We invite all of you to join us live, 8:30 p.m. And we have many co-hosts join that night. Join us live, Ron, Randy, and many others. So don't miss it, guys. This is a night where we just talk about hockey and we sharing, have a good time, and we talk about the wish of your Christmas holidays. And we're going to prepare that night, Mr. Enortap, also the World Junior Championship at the same time. So we're going to hear a little bit more of the roster next week during the week, everything like that. So I think overall that'd be good. If Tobesh keep playing well, I don't see a reason to play Montebo and maybe screw things up and mark. Not a point. It's not a bad way over there.
No,
PS go
it's
with
valid,
full time
but
with Fowler.
the only thing I'm thinking, Mark, is you can't keep him out of the fold for yet another entire week. I think at some point they have to evaluate what's gonna happen with him. So put him in a situation where he might succeed is what I'm thinking. One game, I don't know.
Great point about that. Definitely, there's something to follow up. This week will be the big subject of the week, Mr. Enortap. The goaltending, goalie à three, ménage à trois, comme on dirait en français. Donc, Mr. Enortap, we go through that one over there. Tobesh, 2 Fowler, 1 Montembeau, 1 for Randy. Thanks so much to be with us.
Randy likes the
Showed
coffee.
a lot. And can wait. See you next time, maybe next Monday, honestly. I don't know Wednesday, but we have to look about what happened with Marco. But glad to see you around, Mr. Enortap. Your final words of the week, Mr. Enortap.
It's a tough week, not in terms of the games in particular, but in terms of just getting through this month for Montreal. And so far, like I said before, they're holding their own. So let's maximize as many points as we can this week, so that we can stay in that fold. That's my key thing. Consistency.
No, you're absolutely right, Mr. Enortap. Maximize the number of points, return that, and that's what we're looking for. Glad to work with you again, Mr. Enortap. Take care about Luciano. Be sure he's on the right spot at the right time. He's doing the right things. And we'll see what the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to do again this week. We're going to see you again in the chat on the week. So we wish you an amazing, great week. And hopefully we wish the best for your family. We consist to pray for your family and the people in the chat also. So boys, I will see you next week, my friend, Mr. Enortap.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good night, everyone.
Mr. Enortap was with us tonight on the great Monday Night Red Light Show. It was a pleasure for us to see you tonight, guys. We appreciate the super chat run et Kelvinator. Kelvin a compté 2 buts ce soir. Merci beaucoup for all the participation, to your likes, and become a member. Whatever you support, we appreciate whatever you do. The most important thing, guys, is to see you every night talking about hockey. Agree, disagree, it's not matter. We have a good time together. That's the most important thing. I can wait to see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Montreal play the Flyers. We need a statement tomorrow night. We need to Jacky to come back in the game and Tobesh between the pipe, and a good game for the first line. And we need Caulfield Suzuki come back. I think that'll be helping the Montreal Canadiens and more goal on the 5-1-5. Until then, my friend, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Hey, greatness. Archie Calabro, the news and update. Thanks so much, my friend. Moderator Run with Kings. Thanks so much. All the people was me tonight. Thank you. Until next time, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half of what? Someone said 2025. Thanks so much, Billy from Nova Scotia. Luciano, appreciate a lot. You can return to study your geography. Mark Elliott, appreciate a lot for all you do here at the Hockey National Show. Ovidio, glad to see you. And one person I want to thank tonight. Every night, I want to celebrate and mention about one person. Tonight, I want to give Stan the Man. He's the man. He's been with us every night. He show up every night. He asks questions. He's involved with the chat. And we really appreciate your support, Mr. Stan the Man. So thanks again to be a part of the show. We crossed the 10,500. I don't know, we have too many number and the likes. Have a great day, everybody. Great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, the Hockey Nation, the Ab Nation, and all the animals in the kingdom of the talent want to tell you one more thing. So we love you, friends. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow night at 6:50 for the pregame show. And at the Montreal versus the Flyers. Good night, everybody. Thank RJ. Kelvinator still is the man. Well said, Kelvinator. Nicolas, salut mon homme. On se reparle demain soir. Good night. And one more thing. Booyah!